Bonjour à tous, hello everyone, welcome back to Mount Mac, and this is Mac Plays on Mac. We are now entering episode 11. A lot of things are gonna happen today. Yes, we are gonna add the UK assets to our build. I mean, this is huge. 6 gigs of assets, more than the French and the German pack combined together. All of this building is going to be incredible, and it's going to fit in so many different places. I love it so much. So right here I'm getting ready the place where we're going to build everything. I'm actually giving an train access from this city to the other city, just because these cities are now too big just to be by bus system linked, and you're gonna see that because my bus system is actually overcrowded. It's missing a lot of people, so I'm actually gonna still keep the bus on the side, because the bus is not going to the center of our old city, but it's actually going to the side next to the industrial area, where this train track is going to go all the way from the center of first city to the center of Edgewater, or kind of, because technically it's still going to be on the outside of that 2x2 highway kind of lane. So quickly, before I go too much into what we're doing, I don't know yet what I'm gonna get still between the M4 MacBook Pro Max and the M4 Mac Mini Pro fully loaded. I am still thinking, but I'm gonna go back to France in about a couple of weeks, so I didn't see the point of buying the computer right before leaving, and then my window of returning will be very, very quick if I don't like it. So I'm just gonna wait until New Year, and then I will make my decision. I'm also looking for more actual test of the Mac Mini Pro fully spec'd with 64 gigs, because I can't really find any gaming situations right now with that setup, but we'll see. So I'm building here the bones of our new little neighborhood, the UK neighborhood. It's gonna be very, very dense. You're gonna see the roads are very close from each other, and it's a big departure from our grid. I wanted to have something that's much more circular. Here I just zoned this area just to see how it looks, what is gonna happen with it, and how can we build with zoning, because the thing with all of these new packs that we have and City Skyline 2 in general, it's hard to just grow the city without making it boring. Like, you need to plop the things to make sure that they're angled, you know. And here's the new modes, unfortunately, the new assets, they don't really work like this. So I wanted to see here in this situation how it works, and then we are actually gonna change a bit but keep the same vibe. Here I'm gonna add a corner piece myself, 2 of them, and here we're gonna change the corner piece with an actual German asset. I think it looks amazing. It's a bit too big, but it still gets the vibe very well, especially if you're at street level. Something I forgot to do, and that's why this building change, is to lock their level. So I am gonna do that right now, and in the meantime I'm gonna fix that road. I am so happy to be able to correctly use Move It now on Mac. For whatever reason, I told you, like, the shortcut were not working and my game was just literally crashing, but now I can do pretty much everything I need with Move It. So it's incredible, the power of Move It, how you can literally touch every single area of the segments. Just so much control. So here, for example, it's a very good example. My road is curvy, the asset don't really fit, but because I'm not growing them but I'm actually plopping them, I can make them bend a bit more to the road. Technically not really bending, because they are actually not changing their shape, but making them in a curve, or place them in a kind of curve while still connecting them, and this worked pretty well. I like it a lot. It's just that now the road was a bit too far, but it still works. I do love this asset over there, so I was trying to play with them to see how can it fit, and I was making the parking lot fit better, but I actually found that this building just came by themselves without the whole parking lot, and I figured, like, let's actually make a whole neighborhood with it. Like, all of this is from the same apartment complex build up, and we're just gonna play around and make it cool. So let's connect everything, let's get more parking, and let's see how it goes. So yes, the assets always come with a lot of props. but it's amazing that with the bulldozer tool you can actually remove whatever you want, and this gives so much freedom to do anything you want, to be more creative. Like for example, I got rid of all of the little things that were making the building act in a different way, like they are not cohesion, there is a lack of cohesion, and now it feels like it can be all together. Never mind what I just plopped there. I was trying to add more parking, but I just gave up and leave it like this and hide all of this ugliness with just a bunch of trees. Well, that's cheating, but anyway, never mind this. What I'm just trying to say is the new assets, they are amazing. They come with some props and they fit like this. It's just amazing. But then if you don't like all of these edges, all of these corners, well, guess what? You can just remove them and do pretty much whatever you want with it. And that's the beauty of it. That's the magic of Cities Skylines 2. The surfaces too, like you can do pretty much everything you want with the surface. No, it's not perfect yet. There is still, I wish you don't always have to drag them, and for the curves it's a bit annoying, but still it is a giant improvement in general over Cities Skylines 1. I just love it. Like that parking lot over there, it's too bad I cannot make a perfect connection on it for the access of the road, but I do like the way it looks like this. I'm gonna add actually a few more, and then we're gonna build around all of this, adding more buildings. We're gonna go with the 2 towers and the 3 towers depending on how much room we have. And of course, very important, because this is kind of an area where I want things to feel like it's all closed in, it's all walkable. We're gonna add a bunch of pedestrian connections, as well as more connection to the road, because this used to be a dead end and there was a lot of people living in a dead end, so I wanted to create a second access. Another amazing thing from Cities Skylines 2, you can delete again whatever you want onto the buildings, and because of this I'm literally able to get rid of that parking lot on the left side of the station, and I can make my own tram station, tram stop over here. Like before that I had to create a whole new station by myself in Cities Skylines 1, or make it like look like it was part of an extension to the building, but right here, right now, it just works. I mean, yes, it's not exactly perfect, but we can also make invisible path here and connection, and all of this is gonna work. Now, don't mind my connection from the city of Edgewater to the city of the UK neighborhood, because it's not perfect at all. I was just trying to see first, is it gonna work? Yes, it's working. Now, I am not a big fan of where it actually goes. I wanted to keep that roundabout with a lot of trees inside it. I will have to think down the line how to do it, but for now it works. We'll just make it better look later. So here I wanted to build another separate apartment complex, and because I wanted to feel different, I didn't want to use the same kind of building as the one we used before. It was more like a maybe lower kind of rent, because it's like smaller apartments, the size of them, but not the amount of capacity. And I think I reached that very well here by keeping it very, very tight together. It's a very short, small footprint, and I'm just gonna add a parking lot over here and there, just so people can actually park. I was thinking about adding a pool, but I don't have room for it, unfortunately, so we're gonna do without the pool for now. But still, we're gonna add a park over here. I want to make sure everything is at the same size, so there is no weird bump anywhere. And that little park over here, plaza kind of thing. We are also gonna add some trees all around, but that's gonna be more for down the road. And now that I have this, it's cool to have that tram over here, but it doesn't go everywhere. It's just stop over here. So I just went around that new development, and I'm just gonna do a single loop one way. I mean, technically it's both way, but as you can see I was struggling. I didn't see that there's a broken path, so it was too tight of a, too sharp of a corner, so the tram cannot make it. So I'm only gonna be making one way loop and then going back to the station. And while I'm at it, I want also an overpass for pedestrian, just to cut down the time people can walk from the station to the other side without needing to take the tram if they didn't want to. And we're gonna fit another parking lot right here. I do love this new parking lot. They are incredible. It's so cool. They fit everywhere. They are much smaller than the other one. They don't have the barbed wires. It just feels better. Also, let's make good use of the Move It and make sure that the train, if they crash into the end of the line, they actually don't take their overpass with it. Alright, let's get all of this connected for pedestrian, and we're also gonna add some decorative path to the side just in case they just want to go on a walk. And now we're gonna fill also the rest of the gap with a bunch of trees. I'm usually going with not the smallest kind of trees, but medium life to adult life, and a bunch of different kind. We're going for the big oaks, and then for the linden, those are my favorite ones usually. Palm trees also because we're on the coast, but yeah, that's mostly it. Now we're gonna add another park here, more for kids because this is a neighborhood. I wanted to feel kids welcome, and we're gonna extend it to the size of the lot just so it's not just a small square. And while we're at it, I also am gonna add a big park right there. I think it's a very perfect spot for it because it's by the highway. You don't want too many people to live over here, and also it creates a buffer between the highway and the city, just so people can enjoy and walk as well. It has also an included parking lot. That's an asset I had downloaded. I thought it was just parking lot, but it's actually Dance Park, and they also have a park with parking lot, so that's amazing. I did a few connections so it goes in every direction. And now to make it blend better, we're gonna get rid of the fences, and we're gonna make the surfaces go all the way to the road. Here we're gonna do the same, but I'm only gonna do the one side that's by the roundabout. The rest that's to the main road. We're just gonna actually get rid of him, and for this I just need to redrag everything and delete all of these points over here. Let's make sure that I don't grab the wrong side and break everything, but everything worked fine. Now that fence over here, I'm not a big fan. I think we're gonna delete it down the road. But yeah, that's it, our little park. Now, when I look at my city from up top, I see a big empty space. You're gonna see right there. And I don't like that empty space. It just looks very odd, and it's very hard to build anything on it. So the best thing I came up with was just another walkway, just another path down from up there to our cities that or development that we built in the previous episode. And I'm just gonna furnish it with different trees just like we had before. And here I was thinking about having like a special feature, a bunch of different rocks. Maybe, you know, maybe I'll have a fountain or like a little, like a water that will go from the top all the way down. I actually didn't do that yet, but I think that's something I could do in the next episode. But here also same thing, a very odd place to build, so I decided just to go with a giant park. And for this one we're actually going to use an actual park, so people are interested to come down here. And then we're going to create some path, a loop over here, and another path that's going to go down to the, it's not really a beach, but let's say the waterfront, just like this. And we're gonna also make it like enjoyable by adding benches everywhere so people can actually enjoy this area. Although it's a prop, people are not gonna use it, but it's just gonna look like it. We're gonna add a bunch of trees all around, some garbage bin, and just like this, it looks very nice. It fits very well. It's filled now. Something that I've been meaning to do for a while, but because we didn't add the money and we're paying money on a monthly base as well, I couldn't build it. It was a cargo ship route right here, and that's actually why I built it like this. I thought I had more rooms than this, honestly, but it still fits. Like, I like it. Now let's connect it to the edge of the map, because we actually did not add a boat connection, and we're gonna create another one right there, so our boats can actually reach the outside of the map to our little city. And just like this, I'm also gonna fill all of the empty spaces with some offices here, so there's a buffer between the industrial area and our little houses or apartments. And just like this, we have our first boat coming. Now, oh wow, that's weird, it's on a different level. I never realized that before, but anyway, our boats are coming, everything is working. Now I will go to that place a bit later to actually detail it in the way it needs to be. But here, let's take a back here. I thought this could be a beautiful point of view for the city, so let's get a park over here. That round park looks very nice, fits very nice. We're gonna have a small parking over here just in case people need to access it by car, but mostly they will be walking, so it's pointless, but I just want to have it. And we're gonna have a small walking connection, a small path right there. And I was thinking, let's not make it a dead end and let's have a path all the way down to the road. Now this should be stairs, and in a perfect world it would be stairs, but for the purpose of the game it's just going to be a pedestrian connection and a normal regular pedestrian connection. Now I wanted to add another gazebo and a fountain just to make it like a more legit park, and here's our point of view. Now that we're getting much more residences and housing all around that highway, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it an highway for long anymore, but in the meantime we're gonna build an edge on both sides of it so it can create a buffer for the people who live right next to it. Maybe in a couple episodes we will redevelop that road to make it more pedestrian oriented, but right now in the meantime, on Monday 2 more asset packs are gonna drop, so we're gonna be very busy with playing with all of this. But in the meantime, let's take a look at everything we accomplished today. And here we are. Merci à tous. This is the end of the episode. So many new assets coming. Like it's been 5 in the past month pack, you know, it's just crazy. So much things that I know it's not the perfect world, but they are delivering. I cannot wait to play with it, and very soon the workshop is gonna drop. So much cool thing coming to Skyline too. Stay tuned. Bye.